Back in the mid-90s, a lady in the church where I'm pastor, she gave me a copy of the poem by Minnie Louise Haskins called The Gate of the Year. It goes, "I said to the man who stood at the gate of the year, 'Give me a light that I may tread safely into the unknown.' And he replied, 'Go out into the darkness and put your hand into the hand of God, for that will be to you better than a light and safer than a known way.'" We took the framed copy of the poem and put it in our bedroom where it stood there for many years. We didn't realise at the time the poignancy of those words and how they would come to have an impact upon us many years later, because we were about to embark on a journey that had a very long road attached to it. And the book that I've written, Through My Eyes, is a diary of that long journey that we took as a family. It started off with the subtle suspicion of something being wrong, and 5 years later ended with myself, my daughter Charlotte and Leslie's parents holding her hand as sadly she passed away, having fought courageously a long battle with cancer. Through My Eyes tells the story of the pain associated with that journey and how we as a family came to terms with it. It talks and records the difficulties and the trials that we went through, but how we believe that God sustained us in the midst of it. We started to coin a phrase, particularly as it became obvious that Leslie's cancer wasn't going to be curable, that it was in fact terminal. Some things in life come to change you, other things come to be changed by you. Wisdom is knowing the difference between the two. So what started initially as a prayer diary did over time become a record of my own emotions and feelings as we took that journey together, how it affected us and how it impacted our faith. I was writing as a husband, as a father, but also as a pastor, and I was keen to document how going through all the pain and the suffering that's associated with losing somebody that you loved, how that would affect my faith, the impact that it would have upon me, upon Leslie, and upon us as a family. What started off initially as a prayer diary did over time become a record of my emotions, the situation, the circumstances that we were going through at the time. I was writing both as a husband, as a father, and as a pastor, asking deep and real questions, questioning my own faith. Would God really support and sustain us in the midst of all that we were going through? Would he heal Leslie? Would he not? They were all questions that were raging in my head at the time, and different people would come in with their suggestions and thoughts, offering their sympathy, their empathy at a really difficult time in our lives. I wanted through the diary to record with honesty and authenticity and reality what was actually happening. I wanted to know whether the Christian faith, the faith that I committed myself to as a teenager, would actually uphold and sustain me during these difficult and dark times. When Leslie died, I spoke to a few friends and they encouraged me to put into print the diary that I kept, and that's what I've done. Steve Chalk, a friend, said that he'd agree to put a foreword to the book, and in the foreword he talks about it being a difficult read. It is a difficult read, it's true, but it's a read that captures emotion, it captures warmth, it captures suffering, and hopefully it reminds us of the fact that even when we go through the most dark and difficult times of our lives, the God that we love and serve is there to sustain and help us.